Hey, it's Guido coming at you with a tactics talk. You know, one of the things when you become an intermediate player that you learn how to do is how to dominate your flank. So you've got the basics down, you know how to aim, you know how to angle, you have a good idea of positioning, at least on initial positioning to win a flank. You can brawl 1v2, 1v3 and come out ahead, good trading, all that kind of thing. The question then becomes from there, once you've won the flank, what do you do? And I see this quite a bit with intermediate players. They'll win a flank and then not really have an idea of where to go or what to do. So we're going to call this one, so you won the flank. So you won the flank, and now what do I do? Probably, if all you did was default, go back to your cap, you would be making the right decision. Now I'm going to say it depends. I can't tell you it's always the right decision. Sometimes you do need to push onto their cap, especially if you have the big merry-go-round where two lemming trains pass in the night on two sides of the map. You may need to rush their cap, jump on it, and try to win. But in general, you can almost never go wrong going back to your own cap. So I've loaded in my Emil 2, top tier. This is good matchmaker for me, and no real gross overmatches on the tanks, other than they do have two top tier heavies, and we've got the Bat Chat. So I have two choices here. I can either go over and brawl it out over here on the peninsula because I'm a heavy, and heavies go there, right? Or I can go up on the west side. The middle, not really an option. There is an argument potentially for going down here, but I rarely see heavies go down there anymore. It used to be kind of the meta, but not anymore after the map change. So I choose to go over here. Reason being is, you may have noticed, there are 3 Artie on each side. Very open to Artie over here, hard to stay Artie safe, whatever that may mean. And you may be saying, but Guido, they're even less Artie safe over here. True, but if you can win this quickly, kill their eyes off, you may have a better time. The point being, no great options on this map for avoiding 3 Artie. So I decided to come over here, and I don't expect to see their heavies over here. I looked at the way it was set up. I suspect we will have the advantage over here based on what I think they're going to bring. I get lit there. It's almost impossible if a scout gets up on their bushes over on the side to go past that with any kind of tall tank and not get lit. And that's why I'm jinking and jiving here. I would hate to be out of this game within the first minute getting nuked by Artie, but they have got to have our attention at this point, or we have to have their attention at this point. I have loaded my heat right off the bat, and unfortunately I see the 103, but I've got the heat loaded. He fires, bounces, and now I can punish him with my 1 clip of heat, buttering right through. Leave him 1%, of course, why not? Probably should have tried to take that last shot on the 103, but fortunately my friend takes him out. And now I am worried about Artie nuking me. I am surprised that they did not take me out right here. 430 is getting some damage in, and as I am in a auto loader, I am attempting to stay alive, and it's bumming me out that he continues to come just far enough forward that he spots me. I was really hoping to just disappear, but I'm moving around as much as I can here, attempting to avoid artillery. If you look out over on the peninsula, more or less as I suspected, I figured I've got a JT, a T-30, a heavy, and a mill camping in the back, so I think we should be able to handle this. We'll come in here, bounce a shot on him. As I'm reloaded, I see the charioteer sitting out in the open, so I'll punish him. I turn my turret towards the 430 so that I bounce off that nice turret. He's busy looking at him. I'll take another shot on him. And I've got one more, which I will miss here, unfortunately. I'll wait for my friend to go by, and it goes right over top of him. And now I've got to reload again. And then I'm noticing on the peninsula that we have a pretty big overmatch there. We've got some TDs camping there, but there's a lot of heavies coming that way. So we have more or less won this flank, right? The Mill 1 has flanked. There's a near dead 430. I'm not even close to reloaded, and I've still got some friends taking him on. So I figure it is right now a 1 flank, and it is time to go back to cap because I am noticing that it is getting pushed hard. Now what I would have loved to have seen right here is all those tanks turned back with me, but you can tell not a single one of them is going to come back. And there they go. So what's the big concern as they're pushing on to the cap? Well, there's a T-95 that is probably not that far from cap, unless he actually trundled across the peninsula, which it didn't really look like he was doing based on his last spot. There's Artie over there. There's a T-44-100, Tier 8 medium spotting. There's still a scout trolling around, and they know we've busted through there. I sort of expected a few of their heavies to be headed back that way as well, so this is just a bad situation. Basically, our guys are completely out of position, pushing onto the cap. I find the scout, make a miss right here, unfortunately. The good news with the Emil 2 is it's got some serious depression, so I can just sort of back up over this hill and take this guy out as he's trying to get away. But that did use 2 of my shells, so I've got to change my mind on what I was going to do. I sort of wanted to charge in there, unload on those guys, and run away, but I decided to force a reload. We're just going to have to lose our arty right there. And I'm really hoping that our guys on the cap are going to win, but it's not looking good. So I had 2 options here: rush to their cap and attempt to stave off defeat there and then jump on the cap, or try to reset these heavies right here. And I decided to stick around here and reset these heavies because it feels like to me they'll just jump 3 on there and it'll be over by the time I even got over to the red cap. So as you can see, had my friends come this way, we'd be in a lot better shape dealing with these guys. Good news is their IS went back that way, so I'll take that. And holy cow, that was unexpected. Their arty has actually moved all the way up to here, so I'll deal with him. Last thing I want to do is be getting shot in the back as I'm trying to go around this corner here, but the consequence of that is now those 3 heavies know exactly where I am. The last they had seen me was where that scout was, but now they know I'm trolling around over here. I decide to force a reset, or a reload, sorry, as I'm looking to make a reset. And unfortunately, oh geez, so the other arty is back here as well. So I don't have a lot of good choices. Initially I was going to cut right, but then I thought, well, then I can't even get to their cap without being vulnerable to arty, so I'm going to keep myself vulnerable for a little while longer, try to get away from him, but naturally he's reloaded, and now I take a hit. Additionally, the guys in the cap know exactly where I'm coming from. Wait for the reload, and now I'm going to have to go for the reset. I don't particularly play the rest of this game very well. I sort of YOLO out here. I'm still hoping my 3 tanks will take theirs on and win. But I've got 22 seconds, and I've got to find a way to reset. So I don't even shoot the ST1 in the face. That's just not going to happen. I'll just keep pushing. They both hit me. I had the hit points, so let's work on this IS-5. Try to go around. Take him out. I get tracked. I got 1 shell left. Again, not worth really blasting him in the face. I was trying to get away. I'm going to take another hit here. And I'll try to get to his lower plate, would fail right there. And it's more or less a lost cause. Our guys have lost over there. So that pretty well answers the question. So you've won the flank, what do you do? If you almost always turned back and went back to your cap and cleaned up any of the guys that are pushing it, you'd be in much better shape. I'm going to try to reload here. And from here, it's kind of a lame. I'm just going to get after that artillery. I don't even try to get to the ST1. There's no way I'm going to be able to handle them. I might be able to troll them with the turret a little bit. I've already taken shots from across the map, so I just head this way. I know where I am. I got this T-95 creeping towards me. The IS-3 is moving towards me. And I'm about to lose in 10 seconds anyway, so I come around here looking for the arty. Maybe I could catch him. Ah, there he is. We'll go ahead and shoot that guy. So remember, once you get that skill of dominating your own flank, learning how to win the flank, the question of what you do after that is very important. I'm not saying you always go back to your cap, but take a look at the mini-map immediately when you win that flank and then decide whether you should go back to your cap, you probably should, or whether you should push towards their cap. Now, if we had stopped them, obviously, on the peninsula, or you saw, or I had seen that there were tanks up here pushing them, then that's a very winning situation. We've won on both flanks. Fine, push towards their flank, clean them up, get them in the crossfire, all that good stuff. But in the situation we saw here, they had beat us on the peninsula. We're pushing to our flank. We had 5 tanks right there that could have all just went student body left all the way back down here and just clean up those heavies. That T-95 would have taken forever to get into the fight. IS-3 was headed back, so he'd have been out of position. and we might have been able to do some good work and win this game. All right, fellas, I hope this helps. We'll catch you later.